Coming into high school, we as a class had a pretty bad reputation. The middle school had already warned teachers about us and made sure to let administrators know that they would have their hands full. Who would have thought that we'd all be here today as respected leaders in the school who would set an example for other students to follow? We went from getting dances taken away in elementary school to getting an extra trip our senior year. We went from putting kids in headlocks in the cafeteria to helping freshmen find the classroom they are looking for. That's where our class shines, growth. In the limited time we had here because of COVID, we were still able to grow as people while making an impact in the school, even if it meant one cohort at a time. We as the class of 2023 have made so many memories together. We've had magnificent sports teams, unforgettable plays, awesome volunteer opportunities. We even found out who does and doesn't look good with a mask on. And we've made some friendships that will last a lifetime. For many of us, these upcoming days are going to be the last time we ever see each other. Each last has been hard this year. The last time you ever walk off the field. The last time you get dressed up for a school dance. If you're lucky, hopefully the last time you ever get written up. It's those last that have brought us here together today. Remembering time here at Delsea over the past 4 years is truly emotional and everlasting. As this chapter comes to a close, we should feel excited to begin the next. However, just because a chapter is finished doesn't mean you can't go back and relive the great memories you made. Be proud of your achievements, be proud of the risks you had to take, and be proud of who you are today. I know Delsea will be proud to be represented by all of you in your future endeavors. Thank you. Please remain seated as we listen to our concert choir sing "You Are the New Day." Welcome Faith Matheson, NHS Secretary, to introduce today's speakers.
Our first speaker this morning is 1988 graduate of Delsea High School who earned his bachelor's from Villanova and his master's from Wilmington University. Mr. Rob Riles is in his 30th year of teaching, 23 and a half here at Delsea. Mr. Riles teaches 12th grade English and the elective course Sports and Modern Society. Mr. Riles was named Delsea Regional High School's Teacher of the Year, class of 2023. In addition to teaching, Mr. Riles has for the last 14 seasons served as the head girls basketball coach. His teams have won 8 league championships and 8 school GPA championships during his tenure. He currently has alumna of the basketball team on 3 continents, including doctors, dentists, lawyers, engineers, nurses, and bankers. He has also served as an assistant football coach for 23 seasons, where he is responsible for the special teams, defensive ends, and wide receivers. Mr. Riles and his wife Michelle, who is a math professor at RCSJ, reside in Pittsgrove with their son Jacob and their dogs Nova, Sadie, and Mocha. Please welcome Mr. Rob Riles.
Hey, before we get started today, before I talk to you guys about what we're going to talk about, one thing. I just want you guys, everybody knows it, Miss Fair is retiring. Okay, Miss Fair has been an unbelievable part of our school for how many years? What do we say, guys? Thank you. Administration, staff, parents, guests, and most importantly, you guys. It's an honor and a privilege to be speaking with you today at this extremely important occasion. I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes about a couple of things I believe that are really important for the students of today, who obviously are tomorrow's leaders. Since last April, last April, I've been really lucky personally. Our football team won South Jersey, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, the Phillies went to the World Series, the Cats went to the Final Four, and the women's team became national news. But you know what? You know the common denominator of all those teams? It's all right, Dan. The common denominator of all those teams and organizations, they were filled with high-character people. High-character people. When I think about you guys, in class of 23, I think about a high-character class. Class is filled with young men and women who exhibit characteristics that are going to take them far in life. Many students in this class have had major success in the classroom, on the field, and in their respective organizations. It's funny, guys. I'd be willing to bet Jake that most of these successful people We're also the people with the high character. I know many of the guys I had in class, all right, were character people. High character people who have personal accountability. Accountability for your actions, guys, is something that never goes away. In life, you are responsible for your actions. You are responsible for the person you become, not somebody else. You determine your success. You determine your future. Everybody can recite the line from Rocky Balboa, right? When Rocky says to his son, it's not about how hard you can hit, yada, 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 right, guys? We all know what I'm talking about there. But it's a part after that that always affected me more. Rocky's telling his son, when things got hard, you started looking for somebody to blame. If you don't feel like you're getting what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth, but you got to be willing to take the hits. All right? Not pointing fingers saying you're not where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that. That always resonated with me, guys. In life, you have to be willing to take the hits. It's not always going to be easy, but remember, you determine your future. Be accountable for everything in your life, from your education to your actions to your future. The great poet and educator Maya Angelou once said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. Today's society, sometimes people who don't achieve will often look down and minimize the accomplishments of those who do achieve. Hard work used to mean something, but sometimes today's shortcuts are celebrated. Mark Twain once said, stay away from those people who try to disparage your ambitions. Small minds will always do that, but great minds will give you a feeling that you can become great too. There aren't shortcuts, guys. No shortcuts to success. This group, it's pretty obvious. Hard work means something to you guys. All right? The drive to excel is important. Ambition is important, but not unchecked ambition, right, Macbeth? Right, Cash? Remember that? All right? Having goals and, more importantly, being willing to work for them is essential. Don't ever let anyone tell you that hard work is a bad thing. You determine what you want to do with your life, but the big question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? How much are you willing to fight for what you want to end up with? Please understand it's not always going to be sunshine and happiness. There's going to be times when you're going to struggle. All right? True measure of a person isn't if you succeed, it's how you respond to failure. Are you going to blame others for something that happened to you, or are you going to stand up, take responsibility, and do everything possible to make sure that it doesn't happen again? You determine your future, not other people. Showing character and work ethic in good times is the easy part. It's easy to be a front runner. How often have we talked about that, right? It's easy to be a front runner. All right? What isn't easy is doing the right thing when it's not easy and not popular. Well, you know what, guys? That's when you got to buck up a little bit. All right? That's when you got to buck up. When things go wrong, then your real character is revealed. Chance there's going to be a rough spot in life. How are you going to react to it? Many of you guys are good students, tremendous actors, outstanding athletes. But you know what? Before that, be a good person first. Think of other people before you look out for yourself. Everyone knows someone who needs a little help. Be that person who helps. Be that person who gives of yourself. Be a good person. Be a giver, not a taker. The rewards will come back to you 10 times over. Now, a little last message. Enjoy this week. All right, enjoy this week. You guys have earned it. Make sure you hug your parents. Thank them for everything they've done for you. Stop by and say thank you to someone who's helped you the last 4 years. Everyone has had somebody help them with something. Have fun, make good decisions, and guys that I had in class, what are my 3 favorite words when it comes to decisions? There we go, all right? Congratulations, class of 2023. You guys deserve to have enjoyable lives. Don't wait for it to come to you. Go get it. Your Delsea family will always be here for you. Good luck. Thank you.
Our second speaker this morning is Mr. Daniel Cliver. Mr. Cliver is the 2021 Delsea Teacher of the Year. Mr. Cliver has been teaching radio TV broadcasting levels 1, 2, and 3 here since 2011. He's a graduate of the Art Institute of Philadelphia and began his teaching career at Bankbridge Regional High School. Mr. Cliver is very involved in all aspects of life here at Delsea as our very own video historian. In addition to filming live events, he and his students produce the Delsea Morning Show, public service announcements, and award-winning short films. Dan and his wife Ann are the parents of son Kenny, daughter Jasmine, and his baby girl Sarah. Dan's motto is, "Family is everything." Please welcome our second speaker, Mr. Dan Cliver.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are, 'cause when you wish upon a star, your wish sometimes comes true. And let me tell you why. Wishing, hoping, visualizing, that's only the start. If you truly want to see something come full circle, you have to plan, you have to prepare. And as two-time winning, Academy Award winning director and master class extraordinaire Ron Howard would state, you have to collaborate. We weren't put on this earth to live and work as individuals. We need to take the talents God blessed us with and use them to help each other out, to provide for one another, to support one another, to build each other up, not break each other down. Also, follow and pursue your passions, not money, not materialistic things. Be in each moment, make memories with your senses, not your phones. Class of 2023, administration, I apologize for having to cut this short. I do thank you for allowing me to be here today, but I have a meeting shortly after this with a blue fairy and a little wooden boy. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce our third speaker, Ms. Carol Fair. Mrs. Fair was born and raised in Deptford, where she attended Deptford High School. She then attended Gloucester County College and Liberty University for Business Administration and earned her bachelor's degree in math at Rowan University. Mrs. Fair began her career as an educator here at Delsea High School in 2003. She teaches Algebra 1 and Geometry. She was awarded the 2015 Delsea Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Fair is married and has 2 sons and enjoys spending her free time down the shore. We are sad, but offer our congratulations to Mrs. Fair on her upcoming retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Carol Fair.
And I even wore heels, wait a minute. There you go, I can reach. I'm really emotional, so you're going to have to forgive me if I start crying. And thank you for the opportunity of speaking to you. I would like to honor the parents, family members, guardians, and friends who supported our graduates. Their journey was an easy one, especially with COVID, but it was so worth it. I admire you all, the class of 2023. Here is a formal and official congratulations. I applaud you not only for graduating, but becoming the extraordinary young men and women that you are. The world is going to be a better place because of you. All of you here today are preparing yourselves to enter a new chapter in your life. While each of your pathways is unique, and some may still be unclear, you have one thing in common. You all have a positive influence on the world. I look at all of you and see America's future. Understand that one day you will have the power to make a difference, so use it well. Never take advantage. Having known a number of you over the years, I can tell you that while I may at times added to your pressured and hectic lives, I have the utmost admiration and respect for who you are. I'm sorry. You celebrate an important achievement today. In fact, it might be the most important success of your life thus far, because you have proven that hard work pays off and that discipline, studying, and practice get good results. Even though the challenges seemed overwhelming at times, is that which challenged you that made you stronger and elicited greater will and character. Just a month ago, or possibly even a week ago, your futures may look very different. For example, you may have been waiting to hear from the college you wanted to attend in the fall, if you landed the job that you wanted, or if you were accepted into a particular branch of the military. No matter what your future path may be, you're entitled to celebrate and relish your achievement. but I would urge that tomorrow or soon thereafter you sit down and think about your long-term goals and get your plan in action. We don't know at any point what the future holds and what our own capacities and opportunities will be. So aim high. Don't be afraid of failure. Challenge the future, and it's going to challenge you. And the challenge will give you new successes that you were once afraid to dream about. Think big, and I know you'll do great things. You've proven today that you can succeed, so aim for your highest goals you can imagine, and you'll succeed beyond your dreams. Dream, imagine, hope. Don't settle and then wonder what might have been. I love you, my little pumpkins. I'm graduating with you. Now, what the stink are you waiting for? Get yourself out there and achieve your dreams. I love you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Ipolito. Dr. Jessica Ipolito is in her 31st year of teaching and her 28th year here at Delsea. She's a National Board Certified Teacher and Delsea's 2012 Teacher of the Year. Dr. Ipolito is a member of our English department and teaches advanced placement literature and a film analysis elective called Reading the Movies. She is the advisor of the school newspaper, the Gay Straight Alliance, the Girls Empowerment Movement, and is the high school public relations director. After high school hours, she is an international college counselor for high school seniors in Saudi Arabia and also creates humorous school-related content for her social media account called My Teacher Face, which can be found on TikTok and Instagram. Please welcome Dr. Ipolito.
I have to. Good morning. Okay, first of all, seniors, fix your faces. I cannot have 1,000-yard stares looking at me right now. All right, it's a little bit better. Thank you. Good morning. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity today. When some of the seniors found out that I would be speaking, they said, "Oh, I voted for you because you're going to be funny." And that was met with a chorus of other people like, "Oh my God, right? She'll make it funny." Excuse me. A, that's a lot of pressure. And two, maybe I have profound words of wisdom to give you. No, profound's not the word that you think of with me? Okay, got it, thanks. And I didn't even know if I would be able to be funny because I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. But then I found a TikTok, and it made everything clear. The video features a woman around my age lamenting about the fact that kids of today don't know how to write a check. Kids of today don't know how to address an envelope. Kids of today don't know how to read a paper map. And after listing all the things that Gen Z kids didn't know how to do, she proudly says, "If Gen Z takes over the world, it will be easy to take it back." This statement was met with uproarious laughter by the middle-aged crowd that clapped in agreement, and as smug as they seemed, I bet there were more than a few people in that crowd that still don't realize when they're on mute in a Zoom meeting. Others probably don't know how to pay their bills online, and I'm guessing just about all of them take a Gen Z person with them whenever they go to buy a new phone. The whole exchange seemed very archaic and had the air of "get off my lawn," you know, that whole old-timey kind of thing. But it also made me think of a song from the Broadway musical Bye Bye Birdie. Some of you might know the song that I'm going to be quoting right now. A couple of the lines from the song are, "Kids, I don't know what's wrong with these kids today. Kids, I don't understand anything they say. Noisy, crazy, sloppy, lazy loafers." Now, those lyrics were written in 1963 when the silent generation was complaining about the young boomers of the day. Fast forward 20 years to when I was a teen in 1983. My mom didn't know what was wrong with me because apparently I had a bad attitude, and I guess I made too much of a mess in the bathroom when I was trying to make my hair gigantic, especially my bangs. She would also spend Saturday mornings vacuuming, banging the vacuum into my door if I slept past 11 a.m. because I was being lazy and was wasting the day. Kids, noisy, crazy, sloppy, lazy loafers. About 20 years after that, in 2001, Time magazine had an article called "Proceeding with Caution" and warned America that, quote, "the latest crop of young adults wants to postpone growing up. At a time when they should be graduating, entering the workforce, and starting families of their own, the 20-something crowd is balking at those rites of passage. Now, 20 years after that article, I'm sure some of you in front of me have heard the same tired phrases that outline all of the things that are wrong with kids today. Noisy, crazy, sloppy, lazy loafers. But is it the kids of today? Or is it the perspective of each new generation of adults? To that end, I want to offer a different view of Generation Z because what I see are not the issues that people have been singing about, shaking their fist about, or whining about generation after generation. How do I know? Well, as a teacher for the past 30 years, I've been around 1,100 students on a daily basis, and each year I get to know over 100 of them quite well in my classes. So I'd like to tell you about kids today. Statistically speaking, you are the most racially and ethnically diverse generation in U.S. history. Because of that, you value equity and inclusion. You are socially conscious. You've brought conversations about mental health to the forefront of American discourse, and that benefits all generations, so thank you. You care deeply about the environment and the future of the planet. You protest, you retweet, and you speak in definitive terms on issues that you are passionate about. You believe that your occupation should bring value to your life, your society, and the world. You want more for your life than working 50-hour weeks for 30 years to make somebody else rich. So your generation is producing an incredible number of entrepreneurs. We're also seeing a boom in new business ventures because of you. You're digital natives and can process information quickly. You understand the pitfalls of social media and are savvy enough to be suspicious of clickbait most of the time. Over the past 4 to 5 years, you have been unfairly tested by online learning, an increase in cyberbullying, and the intense isolation of COVID, but you made it through. And you know why? Because human nature never changes. People in every culture, every time period have always found ways to persevere and fulfill our common wants, needs, and desires. We all want to succeed. We all need a secure future. We all desire an enjoyable life. Times have changed, but human nature has not. You adjusted to your time period just as each generation before you adjusted to theirs. So we have to wonder, is the issue really whatever is wrong with kids today? Or have we adults morphed into the curmudgeons that we rolled our eyes at when we were teens? Rhetorical, but the answer is yes. Class of 2023, remember the amazing qualities that have got you here and hold on to them as you face challenges in the future. They will serve you well. And start practicing to be a curmudgeon because it will be your turn to complain about kids in 20 years. Congratulations.
Our final speakers are our class advisors, Mr. Brian DeTavio and Ms. Lori McGee. Mr. DeTavio is completing his 12th year in the Delsea Regional School District as a school counselor. He's the co-advisor of the senior class, co-advisor of the Gay Straight Alliance, vice president of the high school for the Delsea Education Association, and recently elected secretary of the Gloucester County Education Association. In 2018, he was named the State of New Jersey School Counselor of the Year. Ms. McGee is completing her 20th year at Delsea Regional High School, teaching trigonometry pre-calculus and honors pre-calculus. She is the co-advisor of the senior class and graduation director. Ms. McGee is a proud mother of 2 children, Riley and Bryce. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Brian DeTavio and Ms. Lori McGee.
First, I love you, Carol Fair. 20 years together, college and here. I am going to miss you so much. You have no idea. I know. Okay.
Good morning, class of 2023.
For the families in the audience, I am Laurie McGee, and I have been honored to be one of the class advisors for your students. This is an extraordinary group of students who will always have a very special place in my heart.
I'm Brian DeTavio. I was also the class advisor, along with Miss McGee. We've been through quite a lot in the past few years, right, class? Quite a lot. It feels like we've been together a lot longer of a time. It's going to be very hard to say goodbye to this class.
we wanted to take this time to really make an impactful speech about the great things that lie before you all. This is a profound moment or profound time in your life, and we looked at some of the great thinkers in history for words of wisdom. Instead, knowing Mr. D and myself as total Disney fanatics, we thought, let's just share some quotes from Disney movies. Dan Cliver.
Sometimes we only see how people are different from us, but look hard enough and you can see how much we're all alike. That was Jasmine from Aladdin. There is a big world outside of here. Go and explore it. You learn the most about yourself when you push yourself out of the comfort zones. Meet as many different people as you can. If you only surround yourself with people who look, think, love, or believe like you, you will be closed to a whole new world. See what I did there, Miss McGee?
Yeah. And one quote of one of my kids' favorite Disney movies, Lilo and Stitch, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. Don't forget where you came from. This means your family, however you define it, your closest friend or two, and your school. You will encounter very few people in your life who truly care about your best interests. Don't lose touch with them. Don't forget about where you came from, Delsea Regional High School. You will always be a member of the class of 2023, and we are family. We are honored to be your advisors, and we will never forget you.
The very things that hold you down are going to lift you up. That was Timothy Mouse from Dumbo. Your high school career has been full of ups and downs, hasn't it? I had the privilege of serving as one of your counselors. Many tears have been shed in my office, and not just from me. Many of your own classmates have no idea the major events in your life that you have faced. If you allowed it, they could hold you down. But when faced with major adversity in your life, you have to remember that you always have a choice. What will you do now? My advice is to choose to not let adversity define you. Keep moving forward and keep fighting. Look out for and take care of yourself and others. From the same movie, Dumbo, he says it best himself, don't just fly, soar.
So you see, any words of advice we could share with you are all of things that you already know. They were taught to you by your families, teachers, coaches, mentors, and even Disney movies. You have everything that you need inside of you to succeed. When you struggle through things and have a difficult time making a decision, dig deep and remember that you know what to do. You have to trust yourself. I'm going to end my part here with a saying from the famous fireworks show in Magic Kingdom. I always knew this was how I wanted to close out with all of you because you have meant so much to my kids and me over these last few years. And so, our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab a hold of your dreams and make them come true, for you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you, reach out for your happily ever after.
It has been our privilege to be part of your lives for the past 4 years, and some of you even longer. We have so enjoyed watching you grow into the amazing young adults that sit before us today, and we are confident that you're going to continue to make us proud. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your Ohana, or family. Congratulations,
Class of 2023.